Hey, you got your journal ready? Good. I'm pretty prepped too, but I'm sure you already knew that. So, today, if you'll follow me, I wanted to take you to a place that's pretty much completely uncharted. We're gonna see a bunch of new things together, and some really rare species that are rumored to grow there. Mm-hmm. Specifically flora, but I know that fauna are quite interesting as well. Yes, in other words, all the ethereals. I'm really hoping we see something interesting, but if there's none today, I guess that's fine. No, trust me. Since this is one of our first meetings, I wouldn't want to bore you with any specifics about names and stuff, but I don't mind going on certain rambles about behaviors and all that kind of stuff. Yes. Hmm. Thanks for meeting me so close to the site, by the way. I know it's probably not good to go in by yourself, so meeting right out here was pretty perfect. Just close enough, but not close enough to be in trouble. It sounds so beautiful here. I don't feel like I'm sensing any ethereal energy, so maybe we are fine. How about you? If we take a moment and listen. I don't believe so. My ears keep flickering from the wind, but that's about it. Darn. It's alright. Okay, let's proceed. This way? Sorry, I know there aren't any man-made trails or anything. There are trails that the animals here look like they've taken. Yeah, good idea. It looks like a big animal was headed that way. So why don't we... Yeah. Following in that one's tracks seems a lot more doable. The grass is freakishly tall here. I hope we find some kind of clearing soon so we can both take some notes. Alright. Let's go this way. Okay. Now that we're through that clearing, we should be alright. Geez, yeah. So many tall grasses, reeds, all sorts of things. These plants are so vibrant. I'm almost shocked that no one's found this place. It seems to be thriving. Oh, hey, I was going to ask. You have enough supplies, right? We might end up writing a heck of a lot today. I just want to make sure you're prepared. Good. Okay. I'm glad you seem to know my habits by now. Right. So, let me get my, quote-unquote map real quick. Okay. Says here we're still in the foresty, brushy area of things. The other travelers didn't give me a real name for this area, but it's pretty much just the outer circle of everything. Then, once we traverse deeper in, we get to see the real wonders of this place. There's a part of this area called the Devil's Bend, which is in a Y shape, kind of like my goat horns. Then, the biggest spot here seems to be Ruby Waterfalls, and a couple other pretty unnamed places. Here, I'll let you see. It's a lot of rock formations, it seems like, but I'm sure they'll be super interesting. I know you are more of the expert on sediments and minerals, so if you want to rant about that, you feel free to. But of course, I guess we'll have to see when we get there. Who knows what we'll see along the way. Right. Why don't we keep going this way and let's see what we find. Oh, keep an eye out for any weird mushrooms or things like that. I'm trying to expand what I research about. I agree. It's better to have a wider portfolio than just focusing on one thing. But there's also the upside of being extremely knowledgeable about ethereals and the bonuses that come with that, so... Again, I won't bore you with that kind of talk right now, but just know that the closer we become, the more stories you're going to hear. Actually, I have one now if you're interested. Are you super sure you're interested? Or are you gonna get bored and turn around midway? Right. I trust you. So, walk a little closer to me as we get through this forest. Alright, got your listening ears on? It's gonna be a bit. So, there's this elusive ethereal called Elizen. It's said to have a sleeker, almost crystalline appearance. Almost completely transparent in nature. Now, I remember seeing it as a child once, before I got into the real crazy research on everything. I only remember the feeling I got when I saw it. And of course the general features. So, I was wondering, as I often did. It was one of those days where I just couldn't bear to be alone or bored. Too many thoughts in my head, too much idle time. So, I walked, one foot in front of the other, and I kept trekking into unknown territory. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have done that, but those kind of experiences, I guess, just happen. You could say something like fate was pulling me along, stringing me to this very place. There were long, winding vines, spiky shrubs, large ether-fused flowers that looked like they were going to eat me. At that point, I had put on camouflage, of course, to survive the journey, and, of course, by the best luck in the world, satire, it had begun to rain. But I persisted, ever bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I finally made it to this tiny meadow. The grass was so green, chock full of life and color. It was so gorgeous, so soft. Just beautiful. Of course, it heavily contrasted from my sad, soaked self. I took the camouflage off and wrung my little tail out. Water was still dribbling down my ears, too. I was cold, wet, generally upset, and then I looked up. A ray of light had shone in the clearing, just the smallest sliver. Oh, come this way. You can hold my hand. It was the first I'd seen while it was raining. This glimmer of hope in an atmosphere of gloom and doom. There we go, right this way. All right. And that light, those gleaming particles, led my eyes to meet her. Yes, Elizen. The name had come to me upon looking at her. I couldn't shake it, as if she'd spoken straight into my head. To this day, I can't forget the image. Her tall, slender figure, glistening in that singular ray of light like wild opalite against the first ever sunset. Ah. The rest of her body had disappeared into the background, leaving only a few pieces of her form to come into being. Oh, look at that. We're at our own clearing. Devil's Bend, yes. Finally, we're here. Okay, if I look at my map one more time, I think if we go right, we can find some rock formations, and if we trail back and go left, we should reach Ruby Waterfalls. I'd love to have lunch with you up there, but first I really want to see what the rocks have going on. Let's go right. We can look and take notes for a bit, and you can, rant to me as much as you'd like. Sounds good. Right. Let's get a move on. Oh, the ground is a bit uneven. Be very careful, okay? Don't be afraid to hold my hand if you feel like you're going to slip. Remember, I'm a goat, so I'm quite used to this uneven terrain. Oh, plus, I used to walk over places like this, and I mean all over, when I was a little kid. So, trust me, even if you think I might look a little too delicate for these surroundings, I promise you I fit in just fine. Oh, I see. So you weren't really allowed as a kid to do that kind of stuff. I mean, I get it. I just think that some parents are too harsh on their kids. Like they expect you to be a shut-in all day. It's much better to get out here. Get your hands in the dirt. Do something hands-on and figure things out. The world around us works in very mysterious ways. It's better to know than to not, don't you think? That's a kind of eerie way of putting that. Better the devil you know than the one you don't. I don't think the world is the devil, per se. I get what you're trying to say, though. It does make sense. Here, I think this is a good place to rest. Why don't we sit down? Good. But yes, I get it. It's better to know what you're up against than to not at all. Besides, even if going into things blind can be a wonderful experience, it isn't always. And when you don't expose yourself to the world as much as you should when you're younger, then things can be a bit scary. For example, talking to people. If I hadn't been exposed to a lot of people when I was younger, well, actually, the truth is that I'm still working on that kind of stuff. Social skills have been quite the struggle for me throughout my life. You too? Well, that's actually relieving to hear. I mean, I wish we both didn't have those sort of issues, but every step counts, right? Like a hero's journey, everyone starts somewhere. The most important thing is taking the first step. And of course, actually learning along the way. Of course. But I get it. Being the outcast sheep of your family, it's not very easy. Sometimes you find yourself seeking connections that you probably shouldn't, or getting yourself into situations that you probably shouldn't just because you're bored or lonely, or feeling like maybe the world is ignoring you in some way. I promise you, no matter what the world has to offer, you will never be truly ignored. There's a little bird or a lizard, or even the wind, that listens to you, can hear you, see you, maybe even feel your heartbeat. And although some people might find it creepy, I find it comforting. Because when I'm out here doing my research, studying and obsessing over these things, it's part of what makes me feel like I have a place in this world. And I hope that through this research with me, and through our time together, you can feel a little bit more part of this world too. At the very least, you can be part of my world. Of course. I'd love to be part of your world too. Anyway, let's get writing, shall we? I fear if I come back with nothing to show for this, they won't let me have this as a work day, and I won't get paid. Of course, you're being compensated too. But even if I don't get paid for this, spending time with you is compensation enough. Right. Well, I'm gonna do some stretches and relax for a bit. And I think this is a good place to pause for a moment. Be one with the surroundings and make sure you make note of anything interesting. I'm sure even if there's nothing big to look at in the distance, there's probably some really cute bugs that are waiting to be looked at. Yes, I'll let you know if I see anything, and you let me know too, okay? Other than that, I think we're good to relax for a little. Up, and 1, 2. 3, 4. Up, and down. 5, 6. Go right, go left, up, down, touching toes, stretching back, big stretch, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretching the hands, stretching the calves, keeping limber, keeping limber. Alright, well, I'm all warmed up, and I think I'm ready to go if you're done taking notes. There wasn't really a bunch here that was new to me. But I would like to quickly sketch something. Stay there, okay? Now turn a little bit this way. Stop. Perfect. This is going to be my favorite sketch of my entire book. Instead of a picture, it is my interpretation of our time together today. I'm sure you won't mind. I kind of made you into a Thyron as well. Yes, a goat Thyron too. I just thought it'd be nice. So, why don't we make our way back and then we can swing right to the Ruby Waterfalls. Great. The walk is nice. I think the rock formations are super pretty here. They almost look like they're handmade though. It makes me curious what the real history of this place is. Some of the particular areas don't feel supernatural. Oh, but there's a pun. Maybe they are supernatural. No. I don't assume that very often. It's just the fact that the first time we're here, there's peace and quiet. It's pretty much completely empty aside from a few bugs and birds. And, I don't know. Some of the formations don't seem plausible with the type of weather they have around here. You are so right. Who knows? It really could be the effective ether levels. They're very low here though. So, I think we should be okay. Also, you told me that your tolerance is fairly high, so I think we should be fine regardless. Listen to the sound of the water. Oh, it's just exquisite. Right, let's find a place to sit down. Here, help me get the picnic blanket out, will you? There. Take a seat. I have plenty of snacks in my bag, but I'm not quite hungry yet. Why don't we just sit and relax for a bit? Sometimes I question how comfortable silence can be. But I've come to realize I really do appreciate it. Especially with people like you. It gives me a really good idea of how you are when things get a little awkward. Not to say that they are really awkward right now. Just saying that it helps me research you. I guess that's the best way to put it, huh? No, I don't mean it fully. Honestly, today's been really nice. You seem quite fit for this kind of stuff, so I'm thinking of dragging you along to more. But that's only if Hari allows me to. I love her, but she is on my tail about a lot of things. Mostly to make sure I'm being safe. So, I understand. Yeah, I guess they are like family to me. You have people like that too, though, don't you? Not really. Well, we have to change that immediately. Hey, listen. You can be part of my family, okay? I don't ever want you to feel alone. Or like you have no one to turn to or nothing to do all day. If you get bored, or if you feel lonely, or if you ever need someone to rant to or talk to or ramble to about anything, I'm your gal. Oh, by the way, I was thinking of naming this meadow after you, if I'm the first one to properly name it. You were thinking of naming it after me? Well, I think we just found ourselves in some sort of battle. What do you say we go for it? Bet on it too? If you insist. I hope you know I'm most definitely going to win.